Hey everyone, today we're going to go for a ride on my 29 Plus bike. This is actually my Framed Wolftrax Carbon. It's a fat bike, but I have the second wheel set right here so that in the summer I can run 29 Plus tires. So it's 29 by 3. Right now these are some Maxxis Chronicles. I really like these tires. So today we're riding in Maple Canyon, or Mapleton Canyon, depends on what you want to call it. So let's talk about a few things. First of all, what's a plus bike? Second, what are the benefits? Third, what are the drawbacks? And fourth, why I think everyone with a fat bike should have a second wheel set. So a plus bike, or plus tires, are tires that are anywhere from about 2.8 to around 3 inches in width. This can be in a 26-inch wheel, 27.5, 29. I personally really enjoy the 29 by 3, but you'll see a lot of bikes that are capable of running as a 29er, a regular 29er, or a 27.5 plus, because they have about the same diameter. Plus bikes kind of emerged in the last 6 years or so, and actually came after fat bikes. So when fat bikes came out, people started riding them on dirt and realized they had an insane amount of traction. They loved that, but there was a trade-off because those 4-inch tires are heavy. So plus bikes emerged where they basically met in the middle. They said, let's see what a 3-inch is like. And that's what I'll admit is probably my favorite thing, is the amount of traction you get. When you get into stuff that's really chunky, lots of rock, it's amazing how much better this does at staying on top instead of digging in. Another advantage that you get is that you can run lower pressure, and it takes a lot of the chatter out of the trail, especially on a hardtail. It almost feels like you have a small amount of travel, although it's not dampened, so don't expect to feel like you're on a full suspension completely, but more just that it soaks up a lot of those small bumps. And the final benefit I'll talk about is, at least with 29 plus, your overall diameter ends up at over 30 inches. So your rollover angle is just incredible. Things that might have normally caught you up before, or a longer travel bike was maybe needed to absorb, this thing just goes right over. I'd say it's probably about like going from a 27.5 to a 29er. Okay, so what are the cons? In my opinion, the only real one is the weight. So not only are the tires and the wheels, since they have to be wider, are they heavier, but that rotating mass is actually farther out from the axle, so you can feel it a little more. It can make climbs a little harder, but I don't think it's significantly harder. I've still set several PRs on this setup. One other con, when it comes to quick maneuvers, it's definitely a little harder. It takes a little more force. Not only is it bigger in general, you also just have more centrifugal force trying to keep it going straight. So that's especially true when you're going downhill. That extra centrifugal force though actually is kind of a benefit in some aspects because it keeps you rolling. The amount of momentum you can maintain is pretty crazy in comparison to a regular size tire. So if you have a fat bike, why should you get a plus wheel set? Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of fat bikes, and I rode a rigid salsa muckluck for a whole summer on all kinds of trails, and it was a blast. The thing is though, it is overkill most of the time. If you're only going to have one bike, it's a really good option because a wheel set's cheaper than another bike, and it just feels a lot more playful than with a fat wheel set, especially if you've got maybe 26 by 4.5 or 27.5 by 4.5, those super wide tires. Going to this will reduce some weight, still maintain a lot of traction, and just be a better overall experience. If you can, I would get a 29 plus wheel set over a 27 plus. You'll have to check with your manufacturer to see if you'd have the clearance for that, but generally if you can run a 26 by 4.5 inch tire, you can fit a 29 by 3. However, if your bike is built for a 26 by 4, it's built around that, putting these on will raise the bottom bracket. If it's built for a 27.5 fat tire, this is a much closer setup. So I would still recommend the 29 plus. So I'm not going up any farther today, but this canyon is a great example of one where a plus bike really shines. You can see it's also used by horses and motorcycles, and they tend to tear up the trail, especially the motorcycles. And so having this wider tire, it fits into their tracks a little bit better and handles with the more unpredictable terrain. So if you're looking for a bike to go exploring on, especially on forest trails like this, look for something that's plus or even fat. But again, plus would be my recommendation. Still plenty playful, even with these big hoops. And like that, so much momentum. If I don't overshoot the turn, at least. If you've got a fat bike collecting dust in the summer, or you're just looking to get a new mountain bike, I would really consider going the plus route. Whether that's a second wheel set for your fat bike, or a bike that's specifically built to run plus tires. I think they're a great platform, and you get a lot of bang for your buck. You'll love the added traction, the added comfort, and the versatility of these bikes. Love them or hate them, let me know down in the comments what you think of plus bikes. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.